women entrepreneurs, they're comfortable in the spaces that they've already carved out for themselves. But in your case, you really took it to another level.
So learn, ladies. You have to learn from the people that you idolize and for you to be ready to face the challenges by listening to them. I start with zero turnover. The first year turnover was 2 million, and then alhamdulillah now it's over 100 million. So it was like a lot of achievement for me, but I know it's too small for some people out there. But don't give up. Can never give up. Jatuh bangun in business memang you face it all the time, Terence, all the time. It all started with a passion, and I want to make sure that the product that I'm producing, the brand is accepted nationwide at the same time to export it to other countries. Of course, the men will look at you like, hey, you know, what kind of oil do you sell? Minyak urut, minyak wangi, minyak masak, that kind of impression.
Assalamualaikum and welcome back to We Hear You. Thank you for your support, especially those of you on Facebook. You're really giving us all that love, and we hope that you keep those comments coming in for each and every one of our episodes. So, as usual, we're going to bring in another titan of the industry this week, talk to you about her journey and how she has played a role in really championing what women can do in entrepreneurship and really reaching that pinnacle of success, although she may not think so. I mean, the rest of us looking at her career definitely think it's a stellar success, and I'm talking about the one and only Dato Hazimah Zainuddin, who is the Group Executive Chairman of Haraxwal. Thank you for joining us. And that's only one hat that you wear. There are multiple hats that you wear. So let's start at the very beginning, Dato. Where did it all start for you?
Thank you, Terence, and thank you to SME Bank for having me here. It all started, I think, in 1990 when I was 1989. I was still working with a state government company, but the feeling of like not satisfied working with people and wanted to start something of my own, and it's really, really burning in me. So at that time, I started to be brave enough to just quit my job, enjoy the good package that was given to me, and I was based in Langkawi at that time. I left the job and go back, put on my jeans and t-shirts and boots and what I do on my own, and it's not an easy journey. Women doing business, doing the early 90s, they don't have much of a problem, and there's no Kementerian Wanita, there's so many, and that nothing much for a problem. But all you did is a good passion, good focus, and good mind to do it, and long term, talk about long term. So in 1991, I started the trading company to sell spare parts for racing cars. I brought in directly from abroad, and then also some parts for Japanese cars, which I feel that is the fast moving one, the low hanging fruit. But the spare parts for racing cars, niche market, not many people are for it yet. So that's how it started. And then 1992, we imported products from Korea, and trading for 3 years. Then we decided to build a factory, a plant in Meru with the Klang. So 1995, the plant is in operation. And if you ask me why I do something like this, it's something that I enjoy doing, something that I'm passionate about, and something really close to my heart. And I just decide and worry later by that time. Yeah. So, but I'm sure, I want to make sure that this is a successful venture.
And in her spare time, little known fact is Dato actually races cars.
What now?
Not anymore, but she used to wreck the bit.
Yeah.
So you're passionate about cars and all the moving parts. Why is that interest? Where did that come from?
I'm a very let's say a sports person. I climb mountains. I climbed Kinabalu at the age of 44. I enjoy doing things like scuba diving and racing. Yeah, as a hobby, not to race, not to make money out of it, to be professional. It's just a hobby that we did on the track, and we were thought of managing the car engine, meaning what is spare parts all about, what is spark plug, what is the oil filter, air filter, and all those things about cars, how to change the tire, how to check tire pressure, whether it is enough pressure or not. And all those things are like teaching us how to be not to be offensive drivers, to be defensive drivers on track. So that's how it started. So I might as well do something of what I like, enjoy doing. So that's how I went straight to this business. It all started with a passion, and I want to make sure that the product that I'm producing, the brand is accepted nationwide at the same time to export it to other countries. Yeah.
So it's a niche market, as you were saying. It's a very niche market. And to add to that, you're a female entrepreneur in a rather male-dominated area. How did that make you feel, first and foremost, coming into that industry? And what kind of inspirational takeaways can you share with some of our viewers who may be female, also looking to get into a male-centric business?
No, Terrence. The name women is really a challenger. To be a woman, you are supposed to be a good mom, a good wife, a good daughter to your parents. So we have lots of responsibility. It's a matter of how you manage time, how you manage your time, how you plan your schedule and things like that, so that it will not be a failure in any of these three. So at the same time, running a business, when you have a big ambition, going not just trading, then we started manufacturing, then we started to export. It's not an easy task. It's a big challenge. But if you feel that you can't do it because you're a woman, you can't do it forever. You need to really focus and say that you can do it, manage it well, produce good quality products. Of course, the man will look at you like, hey, what kind of oil do you sell? Minyak urut, minyak wangi, minyak masak, that kind of impression. But do you take it like a pinch of salt. Don't take it like it's like, killing your, belittling you or whatever. So you have to be positive about things. Just smile it off, brush it off, and do whatever best that you can do for yourself. And a business is like focusing. Business is like planning. We must have a strategic planning on where do you want to take the company in 5 years from now, where you take the company 10 years from now, the short term and the long term. So I'm not saying that I can just stop, but it is really a good thing to do in life for you to plan your life. Even personally, a weekend, what you're going to do, what you're going to do during your free time. And once with planning, you can never go wrong. And you have to understand your product well, technical aspect of things, do a lot of research. Whereas those days, you were maybe a baby then. We had to go to libraries, we have to go and look for data and so on, details of research. Physically, you don't have anything online. Computer is like Greek to us, They have the big monitor, and the motherboard is like the IBM, yeah. And then you did packet those days. So these are the things that evolution of time need to be. You need to know about the latest technology, the latest product, especially in oil, the lubricants that I'm doing as transformer oil and at the same time engine oil. It evolves quite quickly. Those were the days when I was doing the CD grade, and now you're talking more SL, SM, and so many latest and they have 0W20 now, 0W50 now. So a lot of new things that you really need to be at par with the big boys. I don't treat the big boys as my competitors. I treat the big boys as my big brother that I learn from. So I monitor them. Whatever they do, we can do is the right combination with the right additive that you buy, the right base oil that you buy, quality products, no compromise in terms of quality. And I think you can do it. No cheating on the formulation. Blending oil is like baking a cake. How much butter do you put to it? Instead of butter, you put in margarine, so you can't. If you would say it's butter cake, I have 2 butter cakes. If you say that it is the right formulation with the right number of eggs, flour, and all the recipe for the baked cake. So the same thing with formulation of engine oil and transformer oil. You need to put the right base oil, quality base oil, according to the specs of what is required by the customer, by client, and at the same time follow the trend to whatever evolution progress of the product.
I'm glad you started talking about the product itself because I was going to get there. Since we're already there, let's just jump a little bit ahead to talk about the future of the industry that you're in. Seeing as how electric cars are now all the rave, everyone's trying to focus on moving into the electric vehicle space. What's the future like for traditional industries such as yours, now traditional, but still cutting edge? Because every time there's a race, there's a focus on a new type of product that's being tested on the circuit. So what is the future like, you think, for products like yours in the lubricant space?
Be positive about things like you don't worry about so much. When you talk about the U.S. tariff imposed on so many countries, do you have to worry sick that you can't do anything? Wait for the worst to happen? But you have to be prepared at the same time. Evolution. I talk about evolution of products. EV has been spoken about, that's been talked about. I mean, these cars, maybe 10, 15, 20 years ago, about EV cars, but people are more concerned about the environment issues, the ESG program that United Nations have embarked into, all those requirement that you do for to reduce the carbon emission and things like that. But life got to go on. How many people can switch from their engine oil using lubricants to EV cars that use electric? How many? It cannot be. They will not go like 100% one go. Gradually. Yeah, Terence, I'd like to share this. During my time, we are all driving manual cars. It takes a long time when the cars manufacturer introduced the the automatic transmission. So people can't afford to buy automatic cars at that time. Not many people. So the manual car, I think until today I can see many cars on the road using manual cars, and there's advantage and disadvantage. If Malaysia is prepared with a charging station and to boost up every part of the highway, maybe we can go into that. It will take some time, but life goes on. Be prepared for the worst, but you don't have to talk about it now. Just think about something, plan something, which we have a lot of plan in mind as well. And especially on Transformer, they're talking about ester-based, which is plant-based. Last time they're talking about paraffinic, naphthenic-based. Now they're talking about ester-based. So, inshallah, we are working towards that as well. Going into ester-based, plant-based for the environmental friendly, which is a requirement by the government now. But they have not imposed that it have to be 100% on plant-based or whatever. But we evolution, we have to keep track of whatever is happening. And when you are in the industry, you have to keep the pace. You have to follow the pace, and it will be okay. Yeah.
For anyone who has doubted you before, you certainly shut down those critics, because now you're where you are. And I know that you're very humble in saying that you've not reached success yet. But to us, looking at your stellar career, one of the standout points is that you judge the EY Young Entrepreneurs Award on an international level. You're not based here when you're doing the judging, but in Monte Carlo. So talk to us about that experience and how you came to the foray of judging such a prestigious award globally.
Terence, I was the winner of Women Entrepreneur of the Year Award 2002. And then ever since 2003, they appointed me as a judge. So I'm the judge till now. Judging, to be a judge, looking at all the nominees, profile, their credential, and all those things, inspire me, really inspire me. And I enjoy reading reading a biography of the candidates, of the nominees, and I'm so much into it. So that's why every year when Mr. Philip Rao, he is the person in charge of Ernst & Young Entrepreneur of the Year Award. It is called Entrepreneur of the Year Award for Malaysia. Then we go for World Entrepreneur of the Year Awards in Monte Carlo. So when I was the winner, I was appointed as judge. I was going through all the details. Those days, belum ada online, they gave me files, hundreds of files for us to go through. But I was looking forward to receive all those files. I was looking forward to go through the success on how each and every one of the entrepreneur make it. Not through easy things. They have to balance up their life with taking care of the business, taking care of the staff welfare, taking care of the environment, taking care of the CSR programs and all those things, all the criteria in our what you call judging committee for us to judge these people. And going to Monte Carlo, wow, I was a speaker in one of the session in Monte Carlo, and 2015 I was appointed to be the EWW Entrepreneurs Winning Women. All the alumni of EY will be in this. The 2015 that was picked up to being a member of the alumni. So we have conferences. They did one EWW in the US, Palm Spring. I was also the speaker, and I can see that even in the whole world is looking at Malaysia quite seriously, and you were like so impressed that women can go into this industry. So that's why I said we don't have to go to a cottage industry. We don't have to go to the women business. So we can go further up, go to do something which is at par with the men, or something more challenging that the men think that you can't do it, but you can. I always give an example. Why Jimmy Choo produces women's shoes, not men's shoes? Why Chef One is cooking instead of doing something else? Those are the women that they are doing that yet themselves involved in, because they know that women have the power of purchasing. Women have the power of wanting to look good. And Chef One doing cooking, and he can share with us the good food they get. What men can do, women can do. What women can do, men can do. So I always think of that kind of in that line, in that context.
And on that note, we're going to take a short break. When we come back, we'll be speaking more about this exciting journey and the many hacks that Dato wears. So don't go anywhere. Stay right where you are. We hear you. We'll be right back. Kembali bersama kami dalam We Hear You, dan seperti tadi kita telah pun berbincang tentang pencapaian dan bagaimana Dato Hazimah telah memulakan langkah-langkah awal beliau. Industri yang sangat mencabar tapi didominasi oleh lelaki. Semestinya ia merupakan satu pengalaman baru untuk beliau, kerana industri ini pada ketika itu belum ada lagi mengasas sebarang perniagaan yang merupakan daripada golongan wanita. Jadi itu mungkin cabaran awal, tapi setelah itu apakah cabaran-cabaran lain yang dihadapi oleh Datuk? Datuk, mungkin kita boleh teruskan perbincangan ini dengan menelusuri beberapa cabaran yang dihadapi sepanjang tempoh Datuk dalam industri.
Daripada tahun 1991, cabaran banyak, parents tu terlalu banyak cabaran yang kita telalui. The worst part was when my plant was in operasi, dalam operasi tahun 1995, 98, the ASEAN economic crisis happened. So my syarikat adalah joint venture dengan Korean. Yeah. So the Korean wanted to nak withdraw, nak balik ke take better investment and go back after transferring the technology. Muncul lagi, transfer technology happens quite fast. So 1995 operation, 98 tu dah tarik diri 3 years, patutnya lagi berapa tahun. So within that time memang down gila dah. I was like so worried about, I was young, I was just starting the business, and the challenge is like too much for me, but I still strive, I still struggle, I still teruskan perjuangan. Perjuangan sebagai usahawan tak pernah berakhir sampai sekarang. Jadi bila orang kata successful ke apa, kepada saya perjuangan, perniagaan sebagai usahawan daripada azali, from the day one saya mulakan sampai sekarang, ada je. The bigger you go, the more challenges you face, the more setbacks kita lalui. So let's say 1998 tu memang the Korean left. Saya terpaksa mencari dana untuk beli Korean tu punya saham. So saya pergi ke PUND. Masa tu PUND baru dimulakan Renault Saham National Berhad. So dia turun naik lah present tu PUNB chairman masa tu arwahnya Tun Ismail Haji. So he was the one that interview saya, masa buat presentation dan sebagainya. So over dalam masa 2 bulan tu, I got elected to say that dah lulus. So dia bagi saya funding untuk buy the Korean shares, and then also dia bagi loan stock untuk membeli tak banyak. Dulu tak banyak lah. Dulu banyak. Sekarang tak banyak lah. 1.1 million bagi loan stock untuk beli lab equipment. Terus kita banyak buat R&D. So lab equipment ni memang nombor satu investment dekat lab equipment lah. So that's all the challenges that kita face. But it goes on. PNB was such a wonderful financial institution that tolong kita, pembangunan kita. They do monitoring, they do hand-holding. They come and do spot checks on usahawan to check whether the accounts is on order and the products are production is in place. Itulah PUNB masih dulu tak lupa jasa PUNB pada syarikat saya. Lepas tu berlaku pula 2003, 2005 the world pandemic crisis. One challenge juga, tapi semuanya bergerak. Walaupun ada krisis, walaupun ada masalah, kan diteruskan. Kita masih lagi export, kita masih lagi produce and supply. But the worst was COVID. Dia memang paling tenat pasal tu. Shut down more production. Kita supply only kepada current customers di Malaysia. Tak boleh export, kapal tak jalan, forwarding kapal tutup. All this thing. Although produk kita jatuh di bawah as essential and boleh kita produce, kerajaan bagi kita untuk produce ada essential petroleum product. Tapi tak buat apa. Tak masuk dalam drum yang furniture tutup, botol plastik pun tak produce. So all this affected the whole chopper block. That's the first time menurun. It was a downfall for all entrepreneurs. So we are not spared. So those are three big challenges. And but challenges ni ada je lah all the time. So bila dah buka pula, saya export, the first export market yang paling lumayan is to export our lubricant pada National Oil Company of Sri Lanka, Sepetco. They are CPCs, Ceylon Petroleum Company like Petronas in Sri Lanka. So I started produce supply from Malaysia and then export quite good, 100-200 container pada kesana. Then decided why not you build Klang in Sri Lanka. So to cut the long story short, 2000 masa COVID tu kilang I siap. 2019 kilang saya bersedia dah buat operasi. Banyaklah setback sebelum tu. But I cannot open, dah buat launching dah. Saya the Sri Sina was the Prime Minister of Sri Lanka appreciate my factory. It's 100% owned by Malaysian High-Rise Oil Malaysia. So diorang kita kena sewa tanah sewa daripada the government, and it's a BOT arrangement, build, operate and transfer. So 20 years, so now ada dalam 13 tahun tinggal. So yeah, tak boleh bergerak. So 2-3 tahun jugalah we don't have any production in Sri Lanka, but we got our loan from a bank, so we still have to service the bank. We still have to pay for the land lease that we bought, rent out from the Sri Lanka government. So memang kalau ikutkan tak larat sangat pasal tu. It was so tiring for us both. But Allah is great, bagi I kekuatan to face the challenges. And then in doa lah, I always pray, bagus juga COVID hari lockdown. We tend to read the Quran and understand the Quran a little bit more during that time. Maybe the way of God telling us and Allah telling us, hey, slow down and start going through the Quran and see which ayat which you can apply to your life. So that's one thing that we did during COVID. So while we passed through, alhamdulillah, 2002, 2003, we managed to bring back the country to the black. Was red for 2 years. Yep. After COVID, alhamdulillah, 2002, 2003, we brought it back to the red. And then, now we are still okay.
That is amazing. I mean, the first challenge that you faced, that you elaborated upon how you convinced PNB to provide you with the funds you needed to buy over the departing Korean partner. How did you do that? Because it was a financial crunch at the time, and the word Asian financial crisis should kind of tell you how serious it was. That means liquidity wasn't there in the market. Everything was dried up. But you managed to convince a financier to help you. What were the steps you took to ensure that you could convince them, and how did you go about proposals at the time? Because I'm sure that this cycle of liquidity crunch in the market will repeat itself, because we're still in that type of market system. So could you help maybe young entrepreneurs understand what is necessary in those kind of situations to still convince your financiers to back you?
You know, Tun, arwahnya Allah yarham, Tun is not an easy person to please at that time. Everybody cautioned me, you got Bijuko chairman, and be careful, he's such a type person, and you will not take nonsense for a change. Nothing. Well, you have to be like perfect. So what I did a lot of research on the business moving forward. How do we the short term, long term, and then short term, of course, cover the whole domestic. Long term is export. So I banyak ikut Tan Sri Hazimah when she was the former Minister of International Trade. Dulu MITIS, International Trade and Industry. Sekarang dah tukar investment je. So Tan Sri was aggressive di bawah usahawan terus di police mission. So I went to open up to see about market available outside. So bila I pergi tu test what the paper is all about. I presented the paper, the proposal to say that I'm going to export. First I kata for the ASEAN countries. Then I go out of the ASEAN punya area. Then I covered Asia Pacific. And right now we're going very aggressively into Africa. At that time, tak ada lagi Africa in the picture, but I always have a plan to go into the countries which is not so like developed countries. We have to be target for countries yang still accept Malaysian products, still accept SIRIM, yang faham tentang SIRIM endorsement, faham tentang quality that Malaysia, the quality of products that Malaysia can produce, pretend export to their countries. So tak ada lagi this, and they compare you with Shell, what is your to Shell, what is your product, how is your product to Petronas, Shell, ExxonMobil. So yeah, that's the target that I have, the proposal that proposed to PUNB that make them feel that okay, we should ada, tak tahu lah, we should ada plan, ada perancangan, ada so boleh lah to finance. And then to get the letter meluluskan tu, the parents like Allah, like so happy and yeah, but that time we were really tight. So when I got that proposal for already approved by UND, I went to Korea. I met my partners and I told them I buy them now. And terrorists, you have to be smart to negotiate. Yeah, of course they want a big premium, but I end up giving them the actual investment that they put up from the day one. Yeah. So negotiation power tu kena ada jugalah, kena ada some technique lah. So you have to really understand how successful people works. Kan I idolize some of the entrepreneurs out there. So I really put them, I benchmark them against me, and of course, I look at the determination in Tan Sri selling Malaysia to the world at that time. She's very aggressive, and I picked up some of her good, the points that she applied in her selling of Malaysia to the world. She doesn't have product. The product is Malaysia, but she sold it to the world.
And on that note, on the back of all these challenges, you have also accumulated success stories. And the success stories have been accredited by awards that you've picked up along the way. Which is your proudest moment, and which award do you remember fondly?
The first award, 1998. I menang Anugerah Belia Negara by Kementerian Belia. That was like 98. I was just started. How can I menang the award again? PUNB dominate me because we are really growing at that time. Parents, I start with zero turnover. The first year turnover was 2 million, and then alhamdulillah now it's over 100 million. So it was like a lot of achievement for me, but I know it's too small for some people out there. Still, it's too small, but to me it's great achievement, alhamdulillah. But in 2000, award 2002, lepas 98 to 2002, I won the Ernst & Young. There's a good benchmark sebab Ernst & Young is an audit, a famous audit from the top 3 audit firm in Malaysia before the merger happens, kan? So Ernst & Young picked me among so many other successful women, so many who have been seasoned play, but they picked me to be the winner. So from that award, I'm in Commonwealth Woman Entrepreneur of the Year at Commonwealth in London. I went to London to receive the award, all picked by them. And I remember the Mayfair Hotel was so proud. I brought my arwah sister and my elder sister with me, the three of us, experienced the proudest moment. Yeah. So then dapat the latest one, adalah banyak award along the way that the government initiative by apa nama rewarding to women, SME Corps, so many other agencies yang buat government ministries buat, but these are the international one that I guess I mentioned. The latest one was just this year. Last February, I went to Bali to receive a Fuel and Luke's the national award. Lifetime achievement di panggil apa. So I'm like in the category of Pertamina, Chevron, Shell, and all of them was there. So I said, how do this woman, small business can get the award? But they recognize the contribution, that the struggle that adalah hayai.
That is amazing. Congratulations, Dato, on your many success stories. Who would like to just have you share one mindset that you had going into those challenges that you faced? Because the rewards after you face that time of turbulence has been really exponential. So what was the mindset going into facing a challenge like the Asian financial crisis or even COVID, which was the biggest one? So what was your mindset like when tested?
You have to remain resilient. So we have to really, really be resilient and follow the flow. You have to really think of other areas that you can go in. When challenges happen, it make you stronger. It make your brain think more. Bila tak ada monotonous, tak ada challenges, you will never learn. You don't ever think about how to think of other things. But with some ways, so now when challenges happens for a reason, for you to be stronger, for you to have to remain relevant, for you to remain in business, we need to really, really tell yourself that, hey, it's just a challenge that you have to go through as an entrepreneur. But don't give up. Can never give up. Jatuh bangun in business memang you face it all the time, Terence, all the time. Jatuh, jangan tidur, jangan tarik, bangun balik, jatuh, bangun balik. Terpaksa harungi lah. But you have to remain, your punya visibility need to be there. You need to be visible in order to be acknowledged by people, for people to recognize about the business you are in, for you to go to meet up giants like Petronas, giants like Ministry of Defense, to sell the product. You are nothing. You're just small brand. High rate, apa tu dah pernah dengar kan? So this is the thing yang you have to go through in life. That make sure your brand is not known. You have to do a lot of advertising and promotion. That's why I go for billboards. I won the award, a Malaysian Brand Award. They gave me a grant of 400,000 for to publicize your product. So I go for billboards. Dekat highway to buat all the entrance of Malaysia, Perak, Johor, I take all the big state. I have my billboard. Di situ domestic punya business gets better. The end user recognize the product. So yeah, I have to think all the time. Yeah, the way kerajaan bagi bukan untuk kita belanja, but for us to expand the business further. Sebagai usahawan, kita punya kepala dia sentiasa memikir, sentiasa think about how do you bring the company to the next level. Yeah, now I have 2 plants that I have to run, and then in a third plant, in fact the second plant, JV in Johannesburg. I have a partner there, partnership with the local company there, local South African, to produce our transformer oil coming up now, transformer oil in South Africa.
And there you go. That's the mindset that you require to face the hurdles, the challenges in business. Kita akan berehat ketika dan kembali nanti our final segment di mana kita akan ada satu sesi perbualan lagi bersama Dato, di mana kita akan cuba power pengalaman Dato sebagai usahawan wanita kepada anda, usahawan wanita di luar sana yang masih mungkin terfikir bagaimana caranya untuk mula langkah bagi membesarkan ataupun mula langkah untuk menambah saiz perniagaan anda. Jangan kemana-mana. Welcome back to We Hear You. Terima kasih kerana setia bersama kami. Dan seterusnya kepimpinan akan menjadi subjek utama perbualan saya bersama dengan Datuk. Terima kasih Datuk kerana setia bersama kami. Seterusnya kita ingin bawakan ke hadapan teknik kepimpinan dalam memastikan jenama Dato terus kekal relevan dan seterusnya di Dato sendiri sebagai pemimpin syarikat yang diasaskan ini.
Jadi seorang pemimpin ni bukan senang. We have to really convince your followers that you are a good leader. Bila saya manage my staff di pejabat saya di pejabat di big quarters ada di KL dan jalan Negara Avenue, and then Kinang di Jalan Meru, so not easy. I have to turun padang and make sure I be a good leader and go through the process with them. Maknanya if you're doing blending, happy when tu early days sama sekarang tak buat dah kot because dah ada good training go, but during the early days I went down. I am the office boy, I am the forwarders, and I take a port just to clear my cargo and all those things I did. And then to get the license, to be a good leader, you have to be prepared to go down to the grassroots, to go and prove to them, to your staff or your staff to respecting. That you need to really go down and do the things actively. And leadership is about training yourself. Maknanya bila kita nak menjadi seorang ketua, ketua kepada staff you, ketua kepada masyarakat wanita yang kita nak cuba memimpin dan sebagainya, you have to be masuklah NGO. NGO ni very important kalau for you to network, for you to be confident yourself and your idols people. We have look at the mentor-mentee program. Now there's a lot of mentor and mentee program where you assign a mentor to a person that you adore under the Women Leadership Foundation. So for me, I was the Peniagawati president for 9 years. That's how I become very seasoned in terms of public speaking, in terms of mixing around, top-down kind of people from the Perdana Menteri sampai ke officer, pekerja, all those things you need to cultivate through experience, through your experience along the way. Then lepas tu sibuk dengan perniagaan expansion. So 9 years later, I focus on my perniagaan business that I'm exporting and so on and so forth. So I really enjoy what I was doing, but I have to give a sacrifice to it to give another person a chance to take the leap lah. 9 years too long time. So let my deputy to run the NGO, and then at the same time, pre-COVID, I dengan two other ladies founded a foundation, a Women Leadership Foundation. So during COVID, got nothing to do, mind you. So berkampung kat rumah I sebelum the lockdown lah. Berkampung kat rumah I, my house become the center of us planning on the constitution, on the plan and so on. So 3 founding members, 2 orang lagi, which is very good with one HR expert. The other one is on implementation and policy, government policy. So we put our head together, 5 of us, memang hari-hari kita jumpa. So we come up with it, we register the foundation with bahagian hal undang-undang Jabatan Perdana Menteri, we got it registered, we got it all done. And now 3 years later, we program. Kita buat program di mana baru kita buat AWES, ASEAN Women in the Economic Forum. So kita kerjasama dengan MITI in conjunction with ASEAN Chairmanship this year. So it was a successful 2 days event dekat Shangri-La. So kita nak buatnya is a free forum di mana a free summit di mana kita look at identify talent. The talent need to be identified. Katalah terrorists you are good at certain things. From talking to you ada identify. Oh, terrorists boleh di polish further, and then polish boleh train you and make sure that and you have to unleash them to the people to say that hey, you form a data bank. We ask for your credential. We ask for your CD. Masuk ke dalam kita punya data bank ni, bila orang nak calon-calon untuk public listed companies ke, untuk sebagai pengarah syarikat public listed ataupun pengarah syarikat yang nak memerlukan golongan profesional, golongan usahawan, golongan engineers or lawyers. So kita kemukakan pada tu. Then they will do the evaluation. So that's what we are doing under that. So kalau lah be simple, we have to learn from this kind of activities, jangan buat 9 to 5 balik kerja, that's it. We need to attend all these conferences, seminars, summit, forums that organized by NGOs, and then get yourself visible. People identify you from your being visible and from your speaking out your mind. We have dialogues. We have a program under. We just we are doing with Sarawak State Government, Sarawak Women Up Tomorrow. 3 session 3 tahun tu dulu kita buat with the blessing of the Premier Office, and then we do now under kita train juga to be a leader, how to be a good leader, how to be apa orang kata to remain sustainable, to remain to be a good entrepreneur. So that also a training that we do. So my advice to all the ladies out there doing business, or may you be working for any private or public companies, you have to be attend all this function, all this training, so that you're ready to go out there and speak out your mind. Then to the mentor-mentee program that what I mentioned to you just now, where in the lihat people like Tan Sri Poma, Dato, kita panggil short name ni tu lah pasal dah dapat full name ni, Dato Amir Omar, Dato apa nama, daripada MBS di chairman tu Dato Wan Che, Dato from Aziata, all these people are our mentor. You all we did was every year kita open up siapa you nak sebagai mentor, and I'm also one of the mentor. Dato Junaida, my other founders, Dato Hafsa Hashim is also used to work with SMA Corporation, so they are the mentors. So you need to choose. Pandai kalau Darus nak Taji Wahid Umar memang apa Salina semua nak jadi mentee kepada Taji Wahid. First, he's very very generous in terms of giving ideas about how to be in the corporate sector. So yeah, they have the chance to pick and choose whoever they want. Well, these are the things that we are doing at the moment.
That's democratizing leadership. I mean, that's really getting down to the core and letting people have access to the people in the highest offices, literally the highest offices, because they are on the top floors.
Yeah. But during our voice, we had a breakout session. Kan? Everybody was so impressed with Datuk Syaril Reza. The way she speak about tech, like when you read on tech, on about AI and all those things, everyone was so impressed. He made a note from him on that 1 hour session that we had with him. So these are the mentors that we pick, and back Tan Sri Sadia, Siti Sadia from KPJ Healthcare before. She was the first women CEO appointed as KPJ punya CEO, when she was doing very well, and she shared. Although she's about 70, late 70, but she's so alert. She has a lot to share. So learn, ladies. You have to learn from the people that you idolize, and for you to be ready to face the challenges by listening to them.
Well, and that's amazing. I mean, that kind of platform is now available, and people need to be aware they can take advantage of these platforms. Your journey in life has sort of come full circle in a way. We did discuss about how you went to PUNB for that loans helped. You acquired shares of your Korean partners all those years back, and then you were then appointed chairman of PUNB at one point in time, and you currently sit on the board of Martrade as a senior board member. Through these experiences, holding offices in some of the most prominent national institutions, what's your opinion about nation building and how we can galvanize more Malaysians to work together to build this beautiful nation?
I was appointed being chairman of PUNB 2018. It was like 20 years later, when I was just a person who enjoyed the benefit that PUNB has offered to me. But the thing is, when you're an entrepreneur, then recently, 2023, I was appointed chairman of Pernas. It's another agency under owned by Kementerian Keuangan, tawasli oleh Pruscorp. So I was a chairman for 2 years. And then Martrade, yes, I'm the senior board member of Martrade now. I'm seated in a few one public listed company, and chairman of Yayasan Kebajikan Negara, macam under woman ministry. So to me, paying back to this, paying back time to the people. And usahawan. When I was appointed PUNB chairman, I ready to padam. I can feel the usahawan. But 2 years is too short. You can't really give it your all. Planning kita pun dah take a year kata lah. Nak implement, belum nampak hasil dah 10 year over kan. So the same thing happens in Pernas. I was the chairman for 2 years. A lot of things that have been done. Pernas is a champion in franchise. So Dorages got the board and the Pernas and if they're owned by Pernas. So we give out a lot of helping a lot of franchisee in the franchise business. And it's like something I enjoy doing. They gave me the task. I'm happily accept it, and I know I have a lot to contribute. I know how the usahawan, what the usahawan have to go through to survive. All usahawan across the board may be selagi tak public listed. The issue is always cash flow. The bigger the business, we need to expand the business. You need to have more cash flow. So even in franchise, where you have a franchisor unit outfit, so you need to open up. Dah buka branches, ladu mahal. Dah buka seluruh Malaysia, 12, 14 dah buka. So it's too expensive for you. Yes, you can come to SME Bank. SME Bank is always helping and Pernas also helping. So now, when Pernas under the franchise punya element tu, franchisee punya element, so we finance the franchisee. You dah buka the origins, you just don't have to pay for it yet. Kata dah the origins, kata dah buka one kiosk about 30 to 50,000. PNB finance, Pernas finance do that. And then bila nak buka another one, it depends on how successful you are. So that's how I give back to the society. To me, I really enjoy whatever I'm doing, and I'm continuing doing it now through the Women Leadership Foundation. Really, you have to enjoy whatever you do, and you have to be passionate about whatever you do. So this is how I use my fast time.
I want to end the session with this. This is something that we hear about a lot when it comes to women entrepreneurs, the fear of expansion and going global. Women entrepreneurs, they're comfortable in the spaces that they've already carved out for themselves. But in your case, you really took it to another level. So talk to us about how financing was critical in helping you expand and what sort of different management skills you need to deploy to enable you to successfully expand your business.
To me, I think you have to be brave enough, and you have to be do some research. There's some grants given to some of the government agencies. There are some loans, women cheap loans, very below rate. Like for me, I was really expanding my business, and I got a contract to supply to a national oil company. I need to expand the business to accommodate. My land has cooked. I bought the land about 4 acres, 3.75 acres. So to be exact. So I not expand, I don't have money kan. So I went to SME Corp. Masa tu Dato Hazimah was the CEO. Dato Hazimah, please help me. Dato, I need to expand my business. Dato, we just launch our women fund. Tapi we cannot disperse the fund. You can try to go to MIDL. I went to MIDL. So I got a 2 million loan to expand my second plant. The kind of factory, kalau you could be Meru, the second plant. The second plant is from MIDF, punya women fund. Very low rate, and then they take you a year to pay back. They give you a grace period over a year. So those are the things. Bukan selalu ada, it's not there all the time. But once in a while, the government announced for the funds for women, funds for usahawan. You have to be rajin. And then Madrid, crowd talk about art export. Go to Madrid. Madrid ada 48 pejabat seluruh dunia. Kan? So, kalau you nak pergi ke China, katalah kain yang nak export to China, you kena tahu, understand the market, the person, the company that you're going to work with, the person what to do a little bit of background surgery. Madrid offers those kind of help. And those days, until now, I think we still have the matching grant, maknanya MDG grant, market development grant. So dulu masa I travel dengan Tan Sri Rafilah, I applied for ITA fund. ITA fund ni di mana dia match. Kalau you nak pergi luar negara, dia bayar 50% of your ticket, of your hotel, and then of your marketing material. Mana nak buat brochure, you can just go to Madrid and tunjukkanlah all the bills that you will pay, they pay you. But you have to pay first. You have to invest dulu lah in order to get a refund. So you spend 50,000, 25,000, they pay you back. Why not? Those are the things that is available. Saya kena sentiasa aktif, worker enough to go to Madrid, go to MITI, go to MIDF. Kalau nak bawa partnership masuk ke Malaysia, is a foreign direct investment, go to MIDA. Kalau nakkan
grant available to expand a business, go to SME Corp. SME Corp work closely with MIDF. Now they dah merged, MIDF dah merged dengan MBSB, so it's under one group now, just like SME Bank. I must talk about SME Bank. I'm in India. I'm here. SME Bank is very proactive about usahawan savvy. You know, it doesn't matter you're a woman or man. You just submit your proposal to the bank, and voila, 2 months later, you got a letter from them to say that you have been evaluated, your papers are all in order, we will put it up to the management to approve. So they approve, the management approve, takes such a short period. Because usahawan, Terry banyak cakap ni, not to share. Usahawan is about time. You nak duit tu, it's like you need the money to do this kind of thing. You need the money, what's moving capital to bring in, katalah, for me I need to buy base oil. Lagi besar market kita dapat, pasaran kita dapat, lagi besar modal kena ada. So, have to go and grab it, put to the pen. But proposal kena complete. The checklist that given by the bank, by TUNB, by Perlas, by Matre to get your grant or whatever, it has to be completed. Jangan complain kata oh, lambat evaluation. Kalau lambat, you submit paper, lambat lah. So, now there's online. All online. Tak bayar physical, hantar tembal ni, punya paper dah. You can do online. Key in all your numbers, key in your proposal, key in your future plans, your market, where you're going to enter, how much your expansion, how much you need. Semua kena ada proper cash flow, short term, long term. Talk about SME Bank, memang SME Bank is talking about a banking institution, macam banks and so on. Impressively going to assist all to usahawan. Khas untuk entrepreneurs adalah we come to SME Bank. Hardy, sorry, I must say that Hardy is such a important man in helping. Memang niat dia menolong usahawan is there. And ada dia, let's help across the board. It doesn't matter who you are. Tabrans will apply, you know. Dato Hardy, if you get to know Dato Hardy, if you have the chance, Dato Hardy, talk to him. He's free enough to share with you whatever about the bank products and so on that he can share with you. But he's very passionate about whatever he's doing. He's a great acting CEO of SME Bank. Yeah.
Thank you, Dato, for that endorsement. And truly, it's a great way to end the section today. It's been very inspirational listening to you speak. Dan harapan kami semoga anda juga mendapat inspirasi daripada kata-kata keramat yang dipautkan oleh Dato Hazimah dalam perjuangannya sebagai usahawan sepanjang 33 tahun ni, Dato.
November 34 tahun.
Jadi ini bukan jalan-jalan perjuangan, perjuangan yang berterusan. Jadi kita ucapkan selamat berjaya kepada Dato' dan juga Harex Oil dalam industri yang cabar ini bergerak ke hadapan. Dan terima kasih kepada anda kerana terus setia bersama kami sepanjang episod-episod yang kami bawakan. Nantikan satu lagi episod dengan seorang lagi tokoh yang akan kami bawakan kepada anda. We are going to be bringing you more ideas, more inspiration only on We Hear You. Thank you for staying with us. And don't forget, leave your comments down below. We'll see you next time.